Early inhabitants, the San Bushmen and Khoikhoi Hottentots, were among the earliest inhabitants, later joined by Bantu-speaking peoples who migrated southward around 1,500 years ago. Societies and kingdoms. Indigenous communities developed diverse cultures, including advanced Iron Age societies like the Mapungubwe Kingdom, c. 11th century, and later the Great Zimbabwe influence. Colonial era. Portuguese explorers. 1488, Bartolomé Dias was the first European to round the Cape of Good Hope. Dutch settlement. 1652, the Dutch East India Company established a refreshment station at the Cape, leading to colonization by Europeans, particularly Dutch settlers known as Boers. British colonization. 1806, the British seized the Cape Colony, introducing English laws and culture, which clashed with the Afrikaner Boer settlers. Conflict with indigenous peoples. The colonization period saw displacement and wars with indigenous groups like the Xhosa, Zulu, and other tribes. 19th century. Zulu Kingdom. Under Shaka Zulu, the Zulu Kingdom rose to prominence in the early 19th century, marked by military innovation and expansion. The Great Trek, 1830s, 1840s Afrikaners, Voortrekkers, moved inland to escape British control, founding independent Boer republics like the Transvaal and the Orange Free State. Mineral Revolution, 1860s, the discovery of diamonds, 1867, and gold, 1886, transformed the economy and increased British interest in South Africa, intensifying tensions with the Boers. Anglo-Boer Wars. First Boer War, 1880 to 1881, the Boers resisted British annexation of the Transvaal. Second Boer War, 1899 to 1902, a brutal conflict led to the British victory and the formation of the Union of South Africa in 1910 under British control. 20th century. Apartheid era, 1948 to 1994. The National Party introduced apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination. Black South Africans face restrictions on movement, land ownership, education, and political rights. Resistance movements, including the African National Congress, ANC, and Pan-Africanist Congress, PAC, emerged. Leaders like Nelson Mandela and others fought against apartheid, often facing imprisonment or exile. Sharpeville Massacre, 1960, a protest against past laws turned violent, killing 69 people and drawing international condemnation. Soweto Uprising, 1976, protests by school children against Afrikaans as a medium of instruction highlighted broader discontent with apartheid. Transition to democracy. Negotiations and reforms. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, international sanctions and internal resistance pressured the government to negotiate. Release of Nelson Mandela, 1990, Mandela was freed after 27 years in prison, marking a turning point. Democratic elections, 1994, South Africa held its first multiracial elections. Nelson Mandela became the first black president, symbolizing a new era of democracy and reconciliation. Modern South Africa, post-apartheid challenges. While democracy was achieved, the country faces issues like economic inequality, unemployment, corruption, and social unrest. Cultural diversity. South Africa is often called the Rainbow Nation for its multicultural society, with 11 official languages and a vibrant mix of traditions.